For today's episode on the Pathmark Presents podcast, I have a very interesting guest. And I'm here with Dirk Driessen, who is hailing over from Getnoticed. And Getnoticed is specialized in high-end recruitment websites and online recruitment marketing. So since we're talking a lot about digital growth here, it's really great to have a conversation with a team that is actually very focused on a particular vertical. And we're going to be learning all about that today. So obviously, if you guys out there looking to grow your employer brand, this might be a very interesting episode for you. So Dirk, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Very good. Yeah. So you're heading up marketing and sales with Getnoticed. Maybe you could give us an overview. What is Getnoticed all about in your own words?
Yes, thank you for inviting us for this interview. And I'm very pleased to inform you Getnoticed is an online company, as you introduced us, with a specialization in recruitment. So everything we do is directly related to recruitment. And we have like two main business areas. One is the development of website products, so like career sites or recruitment sites or job boards. But even outplacement websites we're constructing. So everything combined with people who look for a job and want to find a job on a website or present it. That's what we build. And on the other hand, we have an online marketing team who attract the traffic from the internet, which is of course labor related traffic. And as many of you already know, a good traction of traffic to your website is very combined with the technique how your website works. That's also why we have these two pillars in our company together. For instance, one of the spin-offs is that we are very optimized for Google for jobs, which is partly technical, and the otherwise is marketing.
Very good. Okay, that gives a brief overview. What I would be curious about, what would be the types of companies that you would be working with? Like, is that, large scale enterprise? Is that like startups growing up? Like, who typically requires help from Getnoticed?
Actually, we are a company who wants to service all these companies. Actually what we do is our product starts from 4,500 euros, and not that I was used to naming any prices, but it's just an idea. We are not a company, if you want to download your own template and get your website running in recruitment, don't come to us. But if you're serious in having a recruitment platform starting from your website, then we are very interested, which also means that we have like employment agencies of little companies with like 2 or 20 vacancies a year to big chip companies, blue chip companies like ABN AMRO or T-Mobile.
Okay, so it runs across the gamut really, and I think you clearly showed there which sort of cases make sense. Really, really good. Obviously, since you are steering up marketing and sales there, I'm always curious. How do you think about sort of the journey that individuals have to go through in order to get started with Getnoticed? Like, what would be the typical client acquisition channels, for example, for you guys?
I already heard you in the introduction telling about your platform, but we are a company who we work with marketing automation, which is a tool underneath our thought leadership. We are exposing to the market, which consists of course, our news channels, but also our website, but also a book we wrote. One of my companions did that. And we organize webinars before even seminars when that was when we were able to do that. And all this content is about online recruitment. So it's not directly about building a website or doing a marketing campaign, but it's about what is needed to recruit in the right way online. Because we think if we share this knowledge we have because of the building and the doing of our products, we are also a source of knowledge for all recruiters in the Netherlands and the rest of Europe.
Makes a lot of sense. You brought actually up there that there's a lot of content on the page as well. What would you say? Which role does the website for you as a marketer play? Like, what role do you attribute it in order to generate, let's say, clients for Getnoticed?
Yes. Actually, it's also part of our product, of course, because we also build websites for our clients. Our own website we build ourselves, of course. But I think the goal with a website, to me, and that's for our clients and for us, is that it's. I mean, this is the place where you can present yourself in the way you want. You don't have any restrictions, so it's very nice to have all this freedom to express and let the people know what you think, or what your products are, or how you work, etc., etc. And the other thing, of course, is that for the marketeers in our company, the statistic registration and all the possibilities you have on your own website are enormous to get your target groups more in scope. So yeah, this combination of the presentation of your company and the other side, registration and measure of target groups is a very powerful tool. That's the reason why I think a website is something, yeah, every company, of course, should invest in.
100%. Very good. Makes a lot of sense. We will actually get to talk a little bit about what makes the websites special for, you know, that recruitment case that you're talking about. But first, from your marketing lens, I would be very curious. If you're now looking at the website, right, getnoticed.nl. So actually, for everybody who's interested, you can just head over there and get an understanding of what Dirk is describing. Dirk, I'm curious, like, what would you think is the strength of the current website as you see it? Like, is it the ability to convert? Is it, you know, the quality of the leads that it provides? Or where do you see a strength of the current website as it is?
The current website we did build up from our experience in the chatbot. So we really approach the chatbot conversation and everything which comes up in the chatbot, like the choices people have to make, companies have to make, are built within the website. There's also a strong connection between the chatbot and the website. And what is it they tell you? They really take you by the hand and lead you to, am I an agency or am I a corporate who is looking for a recruitment site? What kind of personnel do I need to attract? Are they very available in the market, or are they very difficult to find in the market? So all these different questions you will be answered within the chatbot, and you will end up with this information you really need. This means there are quite a lot of pages. Not all the pages are visited by all our clients, but they give all the options needed, and that gives us a lot of information about our visitors, what they're interested in and what they're going to look for. And one thing I want to point out, which I'm very proud of, is the way we build up our portfolio with all the examples of clients we have been working for, which is a very wide description and visualization of the projects we did and the results we built.
Very cool. We actually had the topic of chatbots quite often on the podcast with very varying perspectives. You know, some saw it as a great way to generate leads. Others were saying, okay, the chatbot is maybe more, or chat is rather there for customer support. What's your perspective on chatbots on the website? Which role do they actually take?
I think widely looking at the website, I think you should all consider every option for your visitor. And we all know that if you have like 1,000 options, it's not going to work. So to try out a chatbot is really something you should do. And then look if that really makes people be more serviced on your website. And if that's the case, then you can keep it. In our case, that's the case. And also in many of our recruitment cases, that's also the case. So, but we will come to that later.
Yeah, very cool. One last thing, since we're looking obviously at the website from all angles in the podcast, where do you see room for improvement? Because marketers are always very critical with their own pages. So we'd love to reveal those.
Actually, it's a good question, but I also have to, it's also breaking my brain. But I still think there are some subjects which consider the integration with backend systems, which we are still building up. So we are creating content. And actually, that's not something missing on the website, but we are really anxious to get more content on the website, because in the end, our clients and our people we know, they want to be informed in all different ways. But I think the basic of the website is in that case that you not are overwhelmed with all the information. You can go logically to it, but to have a lot of information on your website, which is logically organized, that's something, which can never end, which you all can build up.
Very cool. Let's switch away from the website a little bit. I would be curious, coming back to the services that you offer. If somebody decides to get started with Getnoticed, what would you say is sort of the main competitive advantage that they're gaining? Like, what is something that your teams can offer that is maybe hard to get in the market?
I think one of the main goals we have with our clients is that we are a company who likes to build beautiful websites, but a more important goal is conversion and results. Because in the end, our clients, they need new candidates for their vacancies. And that's something me and one of my companions are really, that's our background. We are from recruitment agencies. And we know in the end, we can do all kinds of things, but if we don't result in candidates, then clients are disappointed. Because this is really our main advantage, a large conversion and a good result.
Gotcha. Is there something small, we mentioned that, is there something small that you can give as a maybe a hint or tip to the individuals out there building up websites for their recruitment, maybe one or two things that you've seen that people keep missing on recruitment pages that definitely need to be there?
How much do you want? Sometimes I think, is there still market for me? And then I go online and then I'm going to check some career sites. And then I think, oh, there's so much work to do. Maybe that also counts for shop owners. I don't know, web shop owners. But I think one thing I really want to point out to the listeners of this podcast is that the vacancy page is actually your main, is your most important page. And think a lot about it, and don't put on some text only, because that's not going to work. And make clear conversions. So make clear what you can do on this page, because that's something which is often missed, and this is like the essential.
Very, very good. I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about you personally, right? You mentioned already you coming from a recruitment background. What's sort of the type of content that you consume at the very moment, right? But if you're spending your day, obviously you're busy working, what type of content do you still carve out some time, and how do you decide which platforms you consume them on?
Actually, I'm in a good position that I have a lot of online marketers in my team, which are following a lot of content, and they're pointing it out to me when it comes down to online marketing. So they really inform me well. Besides that, I read two newspapers in the Netherlands online, and I listen to a lot of podcasts, also about recruitment and also about online marketing.
Gotcha. Makes a lot of sense. Since we're slowly coming to an end of the interview, I would love to jump into our rapid fire questions. It's some short and crisp question and answers. Are you ready for those?
I'm not sure, but I'm trying. So come on, get it
Very
on.
good. What's the last book that you read?
Dreamland.
What's the one single thing that your company is focused on the most at the moment?
Even more focus.
I like it. You focus on focus. If there would be no boundaries in technology, what would be the one thing that you want to have fixed for your company today?
Oh, I thought it were personal questions. I was fixed for myself.
Not just.
I would like to, if that would be fixed, like, if all administration and systems would just, talk to themselves, to each other automatically. That would be amazing.
Very cool. What's the last thing that kept you awake at night about the company?
Whoa, that's actually, sorry, I'm not awake about my company.
Very good.
But if I might awake, then it will be that maybe we are running out of capacity to service our clients. Not our clients, but our new clients, because we will still want to grow. So we are really anxious to find new talent.
Very good. So the last question would be, if today would be your very first day, you joining Getnoticed, right? If we going back, about 3 years now, what would be the one advice that you would give yourself?
That advice would be I know you're going to focus, but you have to start focusing earlier.
Very good. Dirk, I really appreciate that you,
Thank you.
took the time with us today. If people would be forgetting everything that we just discussed today about Getnoticed, what's the one thing that they should remember about Getnoticed?
www.getnoticed.nl.
Awesome.
Sorry.
Thanks for being part of the show.
Yeah. Thank you.